Hello and welcome to the earnings review. We are by the sidelines of an analyst briefing as well as results presentation for the Seedco Group. And now joining me for a conversation with regards to their particular performance is the Group Chief Executive, Morgan Zwere. Say good day and thank you for welcoming us into your corporate home.
Good afternoon, welcome.
Fantastic. To get the ball rolling, would you want to give us the highlights in terms of your top line performance, your bottom line, as well as the key drivers of that great performance?
Okay, so we saw our volumes come down by 20%, which was also reflected in terms of the revenue itself coming down, and the costs having gone up because the costs are not tracking the increase in revenue. The costs are happening at actual costs. Well as the revenue, because we are selling a more or less price-controlled product, the revenue is tracking the official rate, costs tracking the parallel rate, and this is where we are seeing a squeeze in our margins.
Right. Now let's talk about the significance of the seed dryer that you brought onto the line sometime last year.
The seed dryer is a game changer for us because it enables us to put stocks into the market very early. This year, we've already processed about 6,000 metric tons, which are ready to move into the market. Normally, we would have waited for seed to dry in the farmers' fields before being delivered to our factory. Now it's coming in on the cob at 35% moisture content. What that does is it also helps us control the diseases that would normally affect seed because of late rains. Diseases like cob rots and so on are then reduced and the quality of seed is increased. But the most important factor is we are able to get seed very early into the market because we are now drying it artificially.
Pretty much compensating. Now, let's talk about your presence in other markets, particularly Nigeria, Tanzania, Kenya. I think you did make reference to that during your results presentation.
Those are markets that are showing a lot of promise. Tanzania has been growing consistently for the last 5 years. It's been showing consistent growth. Kenya this year was a rebound, having been affected last year by the drought that prevailed in that market. Nigeria is also a market that is showing very good promise. This last year it was affected by stock shortages for that particular market in terms of varieties that do well in Nigeria. So we were able to sell out, and if we had had more stocks, we would have been able to sell more.
Fair enough. Now let's also talk about the listing of Seedco International on the VFX. Not much traction on the market. How do you feel about that very performance there?
Well, I think so. You know, the US dollar is one of the ways of retaining value.
Of course.
The shares are still quoted in US. Yes, not much movement in terms of value. But what we can say is those people have retained value, for example, compared to people that were only holding stocks on the ZSE. You can see what has happened to the ZSE recently. So that exposure to counters that are listed in hard currency has been very good for stockholders, pension funds, and people who invest in that market.
Interesting. Now, what then would be your outlook given the volatility that is playing out in Zimbabwe and, of course, other developments that are taking place within the region?
We expect seed demand to be buoyant. We expect sales to be good. I think the challenges, the unknowns are liquidity. What sort of liquidity will be prevailing? We are going into an election period. What sort of policies will be brought in place? We know that elections and seed always go hand in hand, and sometimes some of the policies then do end up having an effect in terms of seed sales. Morgan
Zwere, the Chief Executive for the Seedco Group, giving us highlights with regards to their performance at the just ended results presentation and analyst briefing for the organization. Again, sir, thank you very much for making the time to be in conversation with us.
Thank you.
Equity Live presents the complete online interactive presentation solution. Hosting AGMs, media and analyst briefings has never been this simple, efficient and affordable. Communicate globally through a combination of high-definition video and your prepared multimedia presentation from any location of your choice. Interact with your invited participants from all over the world in question and answer sessions and voting sessions in real time on our safe, secure and affordable platform. Contact Equity Live for a free customized demonstration. Equity Live, real-time presentation solutions.